Our thesis project required us to come together as a group and to construct a script, develop characters, and perform it. And so our thesis project was entitled Group Therapy. And so each character kind of experienced their own levels of anxiety for whatever reasons. And so whatever their particular hang-up was, or how they actually dealt with their anxiety, was what the whole group therapy was about.
Well, we needed somebody to write it because we were having trouble getting everybody to get together to write it together. Just kind of too many cooks in the kitchen. And so we're like, someone do it. And so Lucy stepped up to the plate and said, fine, I'll write it. And we're like, thank you.
This week, people at work were idiots, people at school were idiots, same as usual, but I got some more Valium, so I'm feeling okay about the whole thing.
I decided to bring the character of a person who hears things in my head. So in order to help me get into my role, I tried various different things, but I decided to bring a doll to the table. And that really helped me feel who I was, to really feel my background of how I became who I was in this character.
My character in this particular scene was the group therapist. And so I'm the guy that comes in and kind of helps to manage all of the other issues that people are dealing with as a result of their anxiety. In order for a group therapist to be able to really relate to the person who has the challenge, they have to have some of what the person is challenged with inside of them, right? So it's kind of like you have all these different dynamics that people are dealing with, and you're supposed to be the one who helps to manage and balance the issues that people have.
I kind of created my character around what everybody wants to do when they're angry. My character actually talks about throwing a frying pan at a girl's head, which, I mean, who doesn't want to do that, right? When they're really angry. But yeah, her background is a lot of abusiveness in the home, so what she sees, that's very normal. So what she didn't think very much of it because it wasn't as intense as what she was used to. So that's kind of where she was coming from, but to everybody else, she looks crazy. So it was kind of fun to play.
So my character, her problem is that she has OCD, and so she's always flipping on light switches and cleaning everything and closing and opening doors, and she's just generally very neurotic. And I found it very, very, very easy to get into character because I am also very neurotic. I open and close doors and clean things. I don't do light switches though. Yeah, just thought a lot about my own neuroses, and it really helped me get into character.
By the way, if anyone wants any Valium discounts to anyone in the group.
Okay, thanks.
Our production started with our thesis film, and Heidi, our instructor, separated us into two groups. And we voted on the concept that we wanted to go with. So for ours, we voted on trapped in or snowed in, the idea of being trapped wherever. So we wanted to go originally with horror, a typical horror film. But we decided we've only got 5 pages to do this with, so we're gonna go with comedy horror, a spoof on horror. So we decided to name it Death by Drag, and it's about an alpine spa that's haunted by a drag queen.
Nothing was coming out right, and so we just came up with, okay, well, we're trapped in a spa. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then we were like, oh my God, we should make a drag queen that used to live there. And then they drowned in the mud bath, and then they haunt this spa. And we were like, yes, that totally is weird, and it could work. It was just working, and so we just continued to write because it was just working out really well.
I mean, go to a spa, it's, normal. But then there's like a killer in it. But then there's actually 2 killers in it. So, that's what kind of happens.
It turned out really funny. It's crazy, but it's really fun, and I like it a lot. Our characters are all crazy and have all these awesome personality traits, so it's different, but it's really cool.
I watched a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race to get into the mindset of a drag queen, which is, very big, very boisterous, very obnoxious. And that's sort of how I wrote the character, being this out of control character who's obviously nothing like a regular person.
Well, my character is kind of I would say the more logical of the group and the more smart one. Compared to the other ones, they're kind of...
My character's really ditzy and very valley girl, and also I'm very girly, so it wasn't that hard for me to get into that girly aspect of the character. But yeah.
I don't know, you gotta be free sometimes. Sometimes you gotta be free. Because you gotta be yourself, you know? Unless you're changing into a different character, then that's something else. That's different.
She was the perfect size 6.
I'm gonna go check it out.
I chose to create my own independent film for our big final project. I am helping out with the in-class films, but mine it's kind of like an independent study where I wrote it, I cast it, I got all the people together to do the camera, the lights, the sound, the everything. It gives me a better appreciation of the things that the other people do, the things that the sound guys have to suffer through, the things that the camera guys have to suffer through, the things that the director has to suffer through.
I chose to do the independent route for my thesis film. Kind of wanted to, have my own spin on it, sort of deal. I also like writing, so it kind of goes hand in hand. I'm not going to tell you what it's about. You'll have to see it on your own. All I will say is that it's I don't know, it's kind of like a dark comedy. Dylan is like this, he's very, I guess, he's kind of shy, you see that there's like an inner conflict throughout. It helps to pretend that there's someone that's near and close to you, so it's more natural. It's coming as you're not proposing these lines to somebody who doesn't exist. You want to have like an intimate connection to the person that's in the scene with you. So, I mean, it's better to pretend it's somebody that you know than a complete stranger, because you're not going to pour your heart out to a stranger, I guess. Well, most people wouldn't.
It's a superhero film. I love superheroes. So it's kind of a realistic superhero film. So it no powers, very grounded, very, I wouldn't say gritty, but it has the potential to be gritty. So you have the difference between the day persona and what you can do when you're hidden behind this mask. So it has kind of this duality to it. The best way for me to get inside of a character's head is to find that one thing, that one word that describes them, and build off of that.
It really helps if you can pull from something but don't get sucked into that. So definitely coming here, it's a more attainable thing, especially if you're able to, really, I don't know, don't get embarrassed, I guess. It's kind of like put your all into it and don't hold back just because you're going to be on a gigantic screen. Hopefully. It's really hard to explain. I'm not good at explaining anything.